Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go. Well, hello, welcome to episode 102 here at Laughing Vikings Live, where our mission is to uplift, empower, and inspire a global audience by helping actors and comedians share their stories via TV, film, and live performances. I'm Lars here at LVHQ, and we got the BK Broiler in the back studio. How you doing, BK?
I'm doing well, Lars. Good to be here.
Good to see you. Yes. We got a great episode for you today. We're going to talk all things expansion and growth here at Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club. It's been an exciting, well, it's always exciting, but it's been a little extra exciting because we are expanding, we are growing. We're bringing on new members of our team here. We brought on new members, new actors, members of our Actors Audition Club. And now to support those actors, we're also bringing on new audition session directors, or ASDs, as I like to call them, because I love acronyms. ASDs, audition session directors. And we're also bringing on some virtual assistants, helping with social media and the web design and all the behind-the-scenes stuff. So it's a good time to be a member of Actors Audition Club or of Laughing Vikings because we are growing and expanding for global dominance, I believe. Yes. How are you?
Yeah, I am doing well. It has been very busy here at the studio, and I've been like an Energizer battery, Lars. I just keep going and going and going, and then you just put a little coffee in me, and I'll get back out there.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah,
Brandon,
it's been really busy. So it's been a lot of fun too. I've been learning a lot, and it's been a really rewarding time. It's been a really rewarding summer. Yeah.
Sha-la-la-la. Yeah, you're doing, and shout out to you. You're doing a great job. You're like the perfect prototype for a session director and as an actor who is willing and able to help other actors, and you always put their needs and their audition first, and you do a great job treating their audition like their own. And it's no surprise that we have 5-star reviews after 5-star reviews after 5-star reviews on Google and Facebook. And speaking of that, why don't we pop one up? Because we had an old acquaintance of mine. Oh, this one we're going to show first. I was going to show Aaron.
Show this one first.
Let's show Aaron's first. We'll get to Comedy Alley afterwards. So Aaron Eaves is an actor, writer, I guess producer as well. He was involved. I met him a long time ago in 2015. He was a writer, and I think he might have even directed an episode, or if he didn't direct an episode, he was involved in the production side of things for the comedy series I was involved in called Almost Genius, where we took viral videos, basically fail videos from the internet, and then they would green screen us into them as extra characters and turn viral fail videos into sketch comedy videos as well. It was super fun. It was 3 months in a green screen studio filled with stand-up comics, sketch comedians, improv comedians. It was wacky and crazy, and it was good pay. It was the first time in my career where I ever had like a regular place to show up. I was used to a day here, a day there, a few days here, a few days there. But this was 3 months straight, Monday to Friday. We were shooting 2 episodes a week. We got paid well too. It was a non-union gig, but we got paid decent. It was it was $1,200 an episode. So we were getting paid $2,400 a week for 10 weeks. So it was a nice little chunk of change as a non-union person back in the day. And Aaron was one of the directors and writers. So Aaron reached out to us recently, long story short, or long story long by this point. He reached out. He hadn't auditioned since COVID. He had been taking a break for some family reasons, and then wanted to get back into the audition game, and needed help because he didn't want to be stressed out by trying to figure out how to do this at home. So he came in last week and is one of our 85 5-star reviews. Aaron says, I'd never used the service to help me with my self-tapes before, but after expressing how much I hated doing them on my own, a couple of friends recommended I use Laughing Vikings. Shout out to Pat Thornton and Chris Locke, who are Actors Audition Club members. They were the people who recommended him. Laughing Vikings were amazing and had great suggestions for my performance. The self-tape was done a lot quicker than if I'd done it myself. It looked a lot better, and the performance was higher quality. Plus, they edit everything together for you quickly and send you a file a few minutes after you're out the door. I will definitely be going back. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, it was a great session. It was fun to catch up with him. It was a real blast from the past. It was 7 years ago, so we spent a good 15, 20 minutes chit-chatting, and then they got down to business. You ran the session for him, Brandon. How was that?
One of the smoothest sessions I have ever run. That is one of the biggest compliments I could say. Like he came in with a game plan. He knew what he wanted, and I just had to point the camera and press go. And it was an amazing session. Like I always feel bad sometimes, especially if we finish like a little bit earlier, but like you come here for the peace of mind, right? You come here so that you don't have to worry about all this stuff. As Aaron said, like you don't want to worry about having to edit the tape, and then you want to come in, do the thing that you love, and then leave, and then it's done. Right. And that's, I think, the most beautiful thing of all. And especially when you come in so prepared and like so ready to go and so like in the zone, it's wonderful. And everything comes together so nice, and it comes together so smoothly because you've put in that time, you've put in that care, and now everything just melds together so nicely for you. Yeah, right. Aaron was a fantastic person to work with. You can definitely tell that he's a writer director. Just because he knew exactly what he wanted, and such a great job by him. It was really well done.
He's really funny too. He's really wacky and quirky as well. He was great. Yeah, and you mentioned focusing on what you do and what you love, and for actors, that's bringing words off the page and bringing the scene together and making strong physical and vocal choices and emotional choices. And that doesn't necessarily mean camera work or editing or any of those things. So yeah, so shout out to Aaron there as well. And we wanted to talk a little bit about growth too. Speaking of that, one of the things that one of my business mentors, James Wedmore, through his program Business by Design, he often says, do less, earn more, which sounds backwards. James likes to say hashtag backwards. Because it sounds like, oh, you're telling me to be lazy, or you're telling me not to have a good work ethic. That's not what he means. What he means is focus on your zone of genius, whatever that may be. Focus on your zone of genius that has the highest return on investment for you, meaning what are your high value activities? What are your high value revenue generating activities? And for an actor, that's being on camera or being on stage. That doesn't mean editing or setting up lights or setting up a backdrop or having to spend an hour bugging family member and friends to help you. And as a business person here, for me, that meant doing some expansion so that what we're doing right now is we're bringing on more session directors. So there's going to be more actors running in-person studio sessions, as well as more actors available to run studio sessions Zoom sessions. And we're also bringing on some virtual assistants to help with some of the social media management, help with some of the video editing. And that's largely for me, because what you don't see is I spend a ton of time behind the scenes running the business and building the business. That means web page, that means marketing, that means email marketing, that means building landing pages, building opt-in pages, building the membership area, editing videos, building out all the software, doing all that stuff, which is also not my zone of genius. And those are jobs that can be hired out for an hourly rate. So you're going to see a big boost in our output social media wise and our posting and our social media campaigns. But that's because what we're doing is I'm taking some time to invest not only my time in training people, but also money to onboard people and then pay some freelancers here to be a part of the team. So Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club is growing right now. So it's super exciting to be a part of that, and stay tuned for more of that growth. And we should shout out, let's shout out our onboarding, our new onboarded session directors. So here in Toronto, we've got Cheryl Poirier, Jesse Elgood, and Jared Bronstein are coming on board. So shout out to you guys. They applied a few weeks ago. I thought they were great candidates on paper. We've had some interviews. They've been in here shadowing sessions. So soon they'll be available to book their own sessions in studio or via Zoom. And then we've got some virtual session runners, people who I worked with in Tom Todoroff's conservatory. They're conservatory graduates. So shout out to Monine Daly, Aaron Reed, and Deanna Shinsky. They'll be running Zoom sessions. Physically, they're located respectively in New Hampshire, New York City, and San Francisco. So we're expanding into North America. Eventually, we'll have studio locations in other cities as well for in-person sessions. But for now, they're going to be also available to help people via Zoom and run Zoom sessions. So nice. Big shout out, big thanks once again to Cheryl, Jesse, Jared, Monine, Aaron, and Deanna. We're excited to have you guys on board, and the future is bright. And speaking of the future of this episode, we do have a guest in studio here. And this guest is a little different in that his zone of genius is more in the musical world, but we wanted to have him on because obviously the artistic world, there's lots of crossover, but specifically he creates his own music videos. So he's a filmmaker. He's also booking his own tour. So he's a real self-starter. So I think there's a lot of lessons that we can glean from that today for actors who want to create their own content, actors and comedians who want to create their own either theater tours or stand-up tours, or maybe you're a hybrid person and you dabble in acting and in music and you want to learn from someone who's doing some of both. So Brandon, you want to introduce our guest?
Well, before we introduce our guest, would you like to see a clip, Lars?
I would love it if I get to be the guy who says the magic words, roll the clip.
All right.
Yes. All right. Here we go. Are you ready? You're ready to roll it?
I'm ready.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, roll the clip.
Girl, you provided me with energy. You helped me to see the light just like Edison. You bettered him, essential to my every waking need. Like the fluid in the IV, baby, you were my medicine. You picked me up when I was down. I never felt lonely when you was around. You kept me grounded and level-headed. You deserve every single ounce of credit. Forever indebted, you were good to me. You was good to me. Said I was good people's, and that was good enough. I'm apologizing for everything that I couldn't be. You deserve the world, girl. I know you're looking for love. Forever sorry that I let you down. I carry the guilt with me year round, and now I'm new in town. Nobody knows me. You socialize every night, though you're still lonely. Trying to convince myself everything happens for a reason, but I can't find anyone to believe in. Girls come and go like seasons. Burned into my memory is the image of you leaving. Fragments of a shattered heart cover the floor. I guess I'll pick the pieces up in the morning. All you left me with is wanting more. When it rains, it pours, and right now it's storming. My clothes are soaked from all the rainfall. My reputation's stained like a game of paintball. 'Cause now I'm just the guy who lost the gal. The only question I'm left to ask is how. Guess I'll go spend another night with what's her name. sorry, didn't mean to be vague, but these days nothing seems meaningful. Spending time with other women, but only dreaming of you. Damn, I sound so insane. Now I'm ashamed to admit that after all this time, my feelings haven't changed. I still love you with every single drop of blood that's in my veins. That's in my veins. That's in my veins. That's in my veins.
What you want to
Nice.
Okay. He has been a recording artist for 13 years. He is the winner of multiple film festival awards for best music video, and he is going on a nationwide tour in September. Please, everyone, give it up for Mowgli Sun.
What is up, guys? What is up? Appreciate you having me on the show. First and foremost, nice to meet you, Lars.
Yeah, good to meet you, buddy. Yeah, good flow in that track. I liked it.
Hey, I
Can definitely relate to the sentiments in that song too of missing a lady as well. So
hey,
very universal.
Yeah, it happens. It happens from time to time. We got to write about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
quick question: Where was that shot? What was the backdrop there? What city?
That was shot in Los Angeles. I'm so blanking on the name. Vista Hermosa Park, I believe that's what it is. Yeah, it's like right on the outskirts of the city. Beautiful view of the skyline. Definitely a lot of lovers make their way over there, and yeah, just a great spot for photography and video in general.
And
Nice.
did you shot and recorded that and edited that all by yourself?
I did all the editing by myself. That was actually shot by my girl, Tedisha Wolford. That's what she's going by now on Instagram. It's at Teddy Loveheart, but for the professional thing, it's Tedisha Wolford. Yeah, she's a talented video filmographer out in Los Angeles as well. And yeah, we've been friends for a few years now. And she helped me do a lot of videos there back in the day. But yeah, I probably do half of them myself, though, as you were alluding to earlier.
And where are you now? Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Sarasota, Florida, a little south of Tampa.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, I saw the T-Bay hat. I'm a Jays fan, so T-Bay is our arch rival for many years. But
yeah,
now I'm repping Yankees, so yeah.
Hey,
okay.
we can float around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome today.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today, buddy. So we have a tradition here at Laughing Vikings Live. We love to hear all about your life and everything that has led you up to this podcast today, but we don't have time to hear everything today. But what we do love is hearing everything condensed down into 1 minute.
Yep.
So Mowgli Sun, please, if you don't mind, can you tell us your life story in 1 minute? And I have the timer up here. It's going to count up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mowgli Sun's 1 minute life story.
Well, everyone, I was born in El Progreso, Lloro, Honduras. I was separated from my family when I was 14 months old. My name is Maynor Humberto Cervantes. I was adopted to a very loving family here in the United States in Pennsylvania. I grew up most of my life playing basketball, golf, being a sports guy, and then went to college, found out the whole graduating route was not for me, but I liked the environment. And one night came up on a party and decided I want to do some rapping, and the rest is history. Went out to LA for a little bit, did some film acting school, and obviously that gave me all the education and premise I have now to do the recording plus the filmography. And right now we're just sitting down here in Sarasota, Florida, and just continuing to grow every day and making more connections in the industry. And with the last 10 seconds, I'll give a shout out to Brandon Knox, because he was on one of my latest music video releases, Can't Get a Hold of You. And man, that was a huge progression in my career, and I'm so glad that video is out there for consumption.
So wait, Brandon was in one of the music videos?
Yes. Yeah. Would have been my second to latest release. Can't Get a Hold of You. Yeah, we did a little parody on Say Anything.
Gotcha. How did you shoot that?
There's a couple little parodies in there as well.
Yeah,
I was rewatching it today for prepping for this video, and it's very much a love letter to 90s movies. It's great.
Yep, it was a dual parody of Swingers and Say Anything. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
we did that. He did the green screen thing. You know, we just sent a couple ideas back and forth. He gave me the
Gotcha.
video. And it was pretty simple.
I
Gotcha. Oh,
actually
I
filmed those
remember when you were
scenes here
shooting
at
that.
Laughing
Yeah,
Vikings.
yeah. Okay, I
Yep.
remember. I just wasn't connecting the dots as to what that was for. Cool.
Mhm.
What a world we live in. I was thinking about that, like, because you guys just met on Instagram, I think, right? Like, one of you either stumbled across each other's and connected that way. It's like that's the thing. People love to rag on social media as this terrible thing that's ruining lives and fucking people up, but it's like also at the same time an incredible, amazing tool that's connecting people all over the world. Like I've made so many connections via social. Almost all of my world-class mentors are people that I would never have met in person if not for being able to follow their social media accounts or attend their virtual trainings and do all that stuff. So it's like, it's always funny to me when someone's like cursing social media because it's like, it's this incredible tool. You just choose to use it in a shitty way that fucks your life up while other people are using it for these incredible ways to connect and network and collaborate and do all these things. It's like you can use a shovel to build a foundation for an incredible school or building, or you can use a shovel to slam someone in the face with it. It's just what you use the tool for. So I just thought it was really cool that like you're here on this podcast. The chances of us ever meeting in person without social media are slim to nil. Like we likely never would have met you, Mowgli. So it's really
Mhm.
cool. Happy to have you here.
I appreciate it. And I agree with all those sentiments, man. I think if someone doesn't enjoy social media, it says a lot about them and how they view the world and their perspective. And it's okay because it's painful out here and people want instant gratification. And no matter what medium you're using, there's never been a thing as instant gratification. And just people need to understand that.
People are looking for Instagramification.
Yep,
Right?
exactly. It's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
And I think a lot of it too is just how do you curate your profile? Like, yeah, if your feed is full of divisiveness and people blowing up and shit talk and everything, then yeah, that you need to unfollow some people and maybe follow some more positive accounts or some accounts that you're going to learn or people who are of a better fit for you. But it's funny how I hear that all the time, like, oh, social media is terrible. But
Yeah.
okay, right.
I hear it about like just like the phone in general, right? Like there's these old school people like, I read a book. I'm just like, I'm reading the same shit. It's just on a screen. You're flipping pages, but I can't understand why you're getting so stuck on this medium when it's still learning, it's still education, it's connecting. Right. And for us now, it's on steroids, right? Because like I said, back in the day, would have had gone door to door or just street marketing, things of that nature to hopefully get some. And you could still do it. It's just different now, and it's a different medium.
Yeah. Cool.
You also said you went to a film school. What kind of film school was it? Was it specifically acting film school, or was it like an all-encompassing, like you do everything, director, editor, grip, acting? Like what kind of program was it?
Well, the school was New York Film Academy, located in Burbank, California, and they cover everything. They got a filmmaking department, they have a photography department, acting for film department, acting for theater, graphic design, video game, animation. They got everything there. The specific program I was in though was acting for film, and so obviously the primarily focus is going to be acting for film, but you still do get a good base of everything. They want you to have some experience with gripping. There was a filmmaking class we had to take, and that's kind of what got me interested on the other side of the camera. I was like, oh, 24 frames per second. That's why I was always like, why do movies look like that? The evening news doesn't. So yeah, they give you a good background and everything, but obviously they have everything focused for you. So yeah, acting for film was what I did. Yeah, I wouldn't trade the experience for the world. That was awesome.
Because are you still auditioning for other projects outside of your own?
I'm not. No. Yeah, I just basically took what I learned there, and I realized about halfway through the program, it was a 2 years associated program, accelerated, and I realized it was the same thing with school. I was like, I don't enjoy this anymore. I love acting, I love film, but I don't feel like going to class and doing Shakespeare. And there's a lot of other like problems that relate to just my life in general and things like that. I understand within my personality and character traits, I tend to isolate. But at that point, I just realized, yeah, my heart is completely in the music. And with everything I've learned with the acting and the film, of course, I can apply this 100 billion%. And I've always been a person who likes to be cost effective. So the less people I can pay and still be at peace and have enough time in the day to do what I got to do, I'll
Mhm.
do whatever I need to. So taught myself how to do all that shit and was just like, wow, this is heaven for me because I'm in complete control now and I can do everything I want. And yeah, if I don't feel like going to class, I'm always about what my gut tells me. But obviously I'm gonna put in so much work here and recording and making music videos, album art. So I realized, yep, the acting served its purpose. But yeah, we're totally just focused on the music and the filmmaking that involves that, because I realized with me being tattooed and wanting to be even more tattooed, yeah,
Mhm.
finding a film gig is a little tough. Yeah, you're not gonna have too many places that are gonna be like, yeah, let's shell out all that money to cover up his tattoos for every role he plays. So I want to break barriers and things of that nature, but I realize one thing at a time. And yeah, what's your priorities in life? And the music is definitely my priority. The bonus is I get to do some acting in my music as well.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once your music blows up and you're a household name, then they'll pay whatever is needed to cover up those tattoos. It's like
Yeah.
there's plenty of A-listers who have tons of tattoos. It's just
Mhm.
when
Yep.
early on in the grind, when they're like, okay, we could choose a nobody or a nobody without tattoos. Not to say that you're a nobody, but I'm
Mhm.
using their voices. But
Oh, for sure.
yeah, we're all replaceable. So early
Yeah.
on, if it's like, okay, in a pinch, we need this guy without tattoos, then yeah,
Oh
sometimes
yeah,
that
for
can
sure,
be an
no
issue.
doubt. Yeah, once you, like you said, once you gain the clout, once you gain a little credibility in this industry and any industry, yeah, the rules so change, and I think that's a good thing too, because I always thought that's not fair, right? Just because someone's tattooed doesn't mean I can't play a role. But
Mhm.
I understand, right? If I'm playing like a banker or some shit, there's not too many bankers that are
Right.
heavily tattooed. But at the same time, the world is changing and progressing, so we'll just see where it goes, and I'll play my role, whatever that is, literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Tattoos are seen like there's plenty of worlds and plenty of shows where it's appropriate. Just depends
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
the vibe of the role, and you find, yeah, you might strike yourself out from the traditional like accountant or something like that,
Yeah.
but you play a rapper in an episode of CSI Miami
That's what I'm saying.
or
That's what I'm
Law
saying.
and Order. You know, yeah,
That's what I'm saying. There's
yeah,
plenty of little roles, yeah. So we'll see where that takes me, though.
yeah. I want to take it back. How did you first get started in performing? We always like to ask, what was your like very first performance, something as a kid or in school? When did you
Mm-hmm.
first step on a stage, whether it was acting or music?
Hmm. Um, that would have been when I was about probably 20 years old. I was I had never once thought about making music or performing artistically. I remember my mom wanted me to do like, theater and shit, like middle school and high school, and I was like, nah, like sports, basketball, golf, like I don't want anything to do with that. I'm not like that. I'm not soft and emotional. I had these stereotypes in my head. And then obviously I grew up and realized actually I am exactly that. I'm very soft. I'm very emotional, but I'm tough as well too. And yeah, I was just at a party one night in college, and some kid was rapping. I thought he was freestyling, and I was like, "Yo, that's sick, bro." I was like, "I can't believe you can do that just off the top of your head." And he was like, "No, it's this kid Asher Roth. If you guys are familiar with him, that would have been about 12 years ago. His song "I Love College," hit the
Wow.
nation pretty crazily." And I was just like, for me, it was interesting, right? Because I'm in Westchester, so I see this white kid that makes it from the suburbs, and I'm like, all I've ever known is black and brown folk being hip hop people. So it's funny, even though that's what I am, it just took that for me to be like, yo, you can really do anything in life. Like that was just like, yo, I haven't seen anyone blow up to that nature since Eminem, and he still didn't even reach the plethora of Eminem. He had a good little run for a second, but that was like, all right, let me do this. And then my friend hooked me up with his cook at Outback that had a recording studio, record a couple tracks, and there was an open mic, hip hop open mic in the town I lived in. And yeah, I went there and the rest is history.
Nice. Had you been doing it like behind closed doors or anything? We were rapping in the shower or
I was always a person who loved to sing along to songs, and I think I
right.
realize now I was probably doing that subconsciously, and that helped. But yeah, I was never wrote poems or raps or anything. It was just literally that day at that party, and then the next second it was like, all right, let me start rapping. And I
Hmm.
think the crazy thing is, you say my first performance might have even been that night or the next night, because I remember the second I started rapping, I was never shy about it, and that's what I
Right.
loved about college. Right, even as shitty as I was back then, people just loved it. And so like every party I went to, everyone was like, "Yo, you got to rap, you got to rap," and it was freestyles at the wazoo. So I was never shy about performing, whether it was actually in a structured place or like a party function.
Nice.
Nice. And so when did you make the transition, and what was your first paid gig?
Whew. So yeah, it was like I found the music probably in like, I want to say fall of '08, and then by spring of '09, I remember I called my mom after a night of psilocybin magic mushrooms, and I was like, yo, I was like, I can't do this school shit. I was like, I want to do music. I was like, this is all I want to do. And yeah, it's crazy how psychedelics can play into opening your mind, because like I said, the rest is history. I got into a recording connection, what was an audio engineering school in Philadelphia. Obviously completed that program, did another advanced program with that. So that's how I learned how to record. And I started messing with this company called Afton, which is it would hook local artists up with shows around the Philadelphia area. And that would be my technically first paid gig, because it's still like a lot of those showcases that are still around today, where it's like it's pay to play in respects to the fact that most of us back then when we were young, we didn't really know how to cultivate an audience. So really what they would say was like, you buy 10 tickets, right? Then you sell them for however much you want and you keep the profit, right? But most people would just end up buying the tickets so they could perform. So I did make some money the first performance, one of the first ones I remember, because a lot of my college buddies were so down to go to it. But it's like, they're not trying to go to a show every week, right? It's like you go to a Drake show, once a year, right? Not every day. So
Right.
it was hard to get more people to come out, but I didn't know what I know now back then. But yeah, that would have been, it got started pretty quickly. Yeah, 2009 probably would have been my first gig then, first paid gig as well.
Nice.
It seems like you've spent a lot of time doing a lot of different sorts of editing. Is that true?
Yeah, I like to do the VHS stuff. I like doing more cinematic, and then now that I'm into like aspect ratios, I really like tweaking that, right? Because I was just like, oh yeah, the black bar is on screen when you're watching a movie at home. Didn't even realize that, versus when I'm watching the real world and it's taking up the whole screen. So yeah, I definitely like to mess with the aspect ratios and get a little film edit or a VHS edit in there as well too.
Because what sort of programs do you use to edit?
Premiere. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I always find it funny that everyone that comes in here is always looking at editing like it's a very daunting task. And I did when I first started as well. But like, it's funny to me how it's like the simplest, like Adobe or whatever, like the simplest editing can get you so far and like get you to where you are, and like it's so cool how it can take you from one point to the other, and then like cutting it all together and like fixing things as you go, doing reshoots, doing whatever, and like having it all come together is so interesting to me now.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't like the word lazy, because I realize I've always been shooting music videos, but I was overwhelmed back in the day, right? Of like hearing the word color grade when I was like 23. I was just like working on Windows Media Player. I was like, nah. But I'm glad I just did it, right? Just do it. Even if you don't do all the fancy smancy shit, just put some clips together, put a song behind it, and call it a music video. Like some of my favorite music videos in the world are the most shitty videos ever. Like Lil Peep, like Mac Miller was literally using just like a construction light, like, and like a a little handheld camera, and like there's no color at all. You can barely see his face in half the shots. But it's just about putting the effort out, because when it's the truest thing in life. That's why I said I don't like the word lazy. It just means I didn't want to do it back then. Because when you want to do something, you will discover what's inside of you. And I just had to wait till YouTube got beefed up, right? You don't even take no official class now. Just how do I green screen? There's a million videos on how to green screen. How do I color grade? There's a million videos on how to. It's so easy, and just take it one step at a time. My thing is I try to just introduce one new thing in every video, right? Just like, all right, this time I'm going to do, a speed ramp or something. Next video, I'm going to do VHS editor. You get the picture. So one step at a time. It's easier than you think, I would say. I've learned that about everything in life, right? The first time I looked at a soundboard in, audio engineering school, I was like, what the? Yeah. And then I realized after the first lesson, oh, duplicates. There's just a billion duplicates in case we want to record 80 tracks. Oh, that made it so much simpler just within those 2 seconds. So I would say the same thing with film and any editing software you're going to use. Yep. Once you just learn a couple little things and the fundamentals, you'll realize it's so much easier than you thought.
I still feel that way about soundboards. When I see them, I'm like, what am I flying the Enterprise here?
Exactly, right. Exactly. That's what it looks like.
I'll be the guy on the mic. That's fine. I'll go in there in the mic and we'll get the guys doing the things.
I know.
I love how you said you hate lazy. Is that a Kobe jersey?
That is a Kobe jersey.
There you
Shout
go.
out Kobe. Yeah, me and Kobe got some similar philosophies, but I also got a little double-edged sword philosophy with my way of life here. I don't really like criticism anyways. I think criticism fucks with people's heads and doesn't just make them take action. Because they're so, like you said about the social media shit, like people are so worried about other people and like, oh, these people are fake or this, and like realize like some people are actually happy. Like you don't even need to come to a conclusion about anyone else's life. Just worry about your shit.
Right. Yeah, less judgment of others and more focus on what we're doing. I like what you said there too about just getting started and learning. A lot of people they compare them. The term I heard was people compare like I'll probably butcher this, but they compare their chapter 10 to their beginning. Like, so you see people online and you're like, this guy's been doing it for 20 years and you're like blown away by their skill and you're just at the starting line and you're comparing yourself to them, rather than if you were to hear their story on where they were when they're getting started, you'd be like, oh, I'm in the exact fucking same spot as Eminem was before he knew what he was doing, or Mac or whoever. So yeah, it's just about realizing where you are now and getting started with what you have now and the means and resources you have now. You don't have tons of money to invest in equipment. Well, what do you have and what can you borrow? What can you beg? What can you steal to make it happen? Maybe not steal, but I mean steal in a nice way, borrow. Whether it's acting, music, filmmaking, like it's just get started. And there's the saddest thing in the world. And I'll use an example of podcasting, and you'd be on like an online Facebook group and someone's been thinking and wanting to start a podcast for like 2 years, and the conversation they're stuck on is what microphone do I need to get, or what platform should I start it on? And it's like, that's not the issue. It's just get started with a microphone, realize that you can upgrade later, and then upgrade when you have the means to do that, versus so many people like, oh, what microphone? I don't know. And they spend like weeks and weeks and weeks on website, like Amazon comparison charts, figuring out the perfect microphone. Like that decision when they haven't even recorded an episode is going to be the thing that makes or breaks them. Like it doesn't make any sense. And I'm sure you see the same thing in music, where musicians are like, what camera do I get? What microphone do I get? What editing software should I use? And that's not the question. The question is, when are you going to start? Why haven't you started? You should have started yesterday, and the next best time is start today.
Just like Nike said, man, they literally have the best slogan ever. Just do it. Like, just do it. Like you said, with whatever you got. I think I've realized over time, it's totally about the substance. Like, yes, equipment and all these things level up when you can, but the substance is what your art is about. And then the promotion and marketing is just about your hustle and telling people what you do and telling more people every single day. And when it comes to the product, my music marketing mentor, Adam Ivy, shout out Adam Ivy, he's got a great saying, done is better than good. We just want it done, because you're wasting time. Like I would compare myself when I was 19, just starting out. I'm like, man, Drake already made it, right? And I was like, wait, but I'm just starting. So why, like you said, why am I comparing my chapter 0 to his chapter 20? Because now I realize, oh shit, he's been dreaming of this shit since he was 7-8 years old, when I was just worried about playing basketball. So live your own life, just worry about your own clock, because it's ticking, and just take action. And the fruits of your labor will pay off eventually. And the little tic-tacky stuff, that's Los Angeles in a nutshell. Just everyone wanting to pay $1,000 for a video, this or that. And I'm just like, that's great, but like, what could you use that money better spent? Shit, I didn't even work for like 7 years consistently, and I was just making music and making videos with what I had, and that got me a lot farther than someone who just put down like $500 into some fake Instagram promo scam or some shit, and now they're sitting there with fake 12,000 followers that everyone can tell is fake, and people respect me more because I just did it the good old fashioned way. I've just been grinding and being patient, and I actually put out content.
Right. Yeah, and for people who are just starting out, whatever artistic form it is, they also, you'll have a better opportunity now, because you can access the lessons and the learnings and trainings of all these people like never before through your phone. So it's like you don't have to learn everything from scratch, like you're just discovering it. Like YouTube University, sign up for a master class, all of these things that are available for whether they're free or investing some money into the training. Like you have access to all of that. Like, so if he's not already, Drake probably one day will have a master class on how to make your first mixtape or whatever, you know. You don't have to learn it alone. Yeah,
exactly. And because like I think you just got to do it and make the content, because I don't even like this whole notion of like anyone out there like truly knows how to make it,
right?
Especially if you come a place like truly from the bottom. Like you said, you know, you were very polite in saying, you know, using the word nobody, but it's real. Like there's classes of human beings, and there's like levels, and there's different societies. Like there's the inner circle of Hollywood, and then there's everyone else who just happens to live there and is doing the same kind of thing. So nepotism definitely plays a role in like what goes on in life. Like it's not what you know, it's who you know. I don't think one of those things is 100% true on either side. I think it's a mix. So you got to just do what you do, spread your word, because like I said, at the end of the day, I think it'd be pompous for me if I do make it to like sit up there and be like, I know exactly step by step how I made it. And but that's what I see is dark about marketing. Like people, they that's what they do. They can sell their product, so they're gonna sell it like this is like foolproof and this is the way to make it. And it's just like the big thing now is like Instagram. So you got to post every day and all this shit. And I realize most of the people that actually say that are either affiliated with that app, because what is that? TikTok and Instagram want you to do, just like YouTube. They want you to be on their app more. So I don't believe in that. I believe you should be consistent, but it's like you hear all these things about like how to and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, how to such a melting pot of like all the experiments that all the billions of us human beings are doing on Earth, and the 80-20 rule. Like it might be 80% of just who you know versus 20% of your content. It might be 80% of your hard work and hustle, and then the 20% of who you know. So I think to say anyone knows how to make it in any industry is kind of it's pompous, because it's just we all have such a different path, and the idea is the same, right? Make music, put it out. Make films, put it out. Promo, marketing, science versus an art form. It's a little bit of both. So who knows at the end of the day? Just do it, right?
Yeah. I like what you said about that. I mean, obviously there are some best practices and there's some things to learn, but like everything in life, it has to be tailored and custom to you. You got to choose what's authentic to you. You got to choose what works for you in your personal life and your family life and your relationships. And there is no, in the arts, like in the acting world, we talk about it all the time. There's no one singular path where like some professions where, okay, take a 4-year degree, then sign up and be an apprentice somewhere for a few years, and then work your way up the corporate ladder until you're wherever you're at. It's like that doesn't really exist in the arts. Everyone, to a certain degree, you can find mentors and you can find people that resonate with you, but you just got to trust that you're figuring out this life and what works for you, and carving your own path and blazing your own trails. And there's opportunity to do that too. That's the amazing thing about the arts, is you can create things from scratch. And I think it's just more about creation. And I like what you said about done is better than perfect. My advice to people, I'm an actor, but before I got into acting, I started my step into it was stand up. And what I was told early on is just get on stage, and realize, especially with stand up, a lot of people make that first few appearances very precious, where they're like, oh, I gotta be perfect, or like, what if it doesn't go well? Like, this is my big debut, it has to be good. Otherwise, like in their head, they're seeing, oh, if I crush on my very first open mic 5 minutes, then the doors are open and I'm going to go straight to Hollywood or straight to the Comedy Store or whatever. When it's no, you're going to be as shitty as you'll ever be at this your first time. So get that shitty one out of the way and get number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 100 and 1,000 and 10,000. Just focus on getting those performances out of the way. And then along the way, focus on learning and growing and improving and tweaking and leveling up. But just get the reps in first.
Get the reps.
Yeah.
Because I look at it as like just a crazy overall, just like totality of the earth view, right? So I think about all the years this earth has been here. And like I said, to say you know how to do something is that's very pompous to me, because all I think about is the millions and billions of artists that have come before us who have worked so hard, who have followed the guidelines, like you said, because they do come from good knowledge. They come from past knowledge of other people saying, this is what worked for me. This was an important cog in me making it to where I want to be. But like you said, in any industry, say I want to be a dentist, right? There's the top dentist in the world. And I think when we're in the entertainment industry, we get so locked in on the people we see on TV, like the Leonardo DiCaprios, the Drakes, right? We're like, that is the only definition of making it, when we know it's not. There are plenty of quote unquote B-list, C-list, you know, actors, musicians as well. Like I'm going on tour, which is like, that's why I say it's kind of humbling, because I'm like, I've been doing this for a while. I couldn't even, I've tried A through Z under the sun. I've tried a bunch of different methods, marketing things. There's tips and which mic, how to record, and realizing like, yeah, like I'm about to do something that most people will never get to do in their lives. And after you feel like you deserve it, but then you also kind of feel like I just know so many other people are working hard and trying kind of the same things I've done and putting their own splash onto it. So it's like, I don't even want to go down that road of trying to think I know how it happened. It's more just like a fate, destiny type thing. Follow your path. Like I said, use the best knowledge you can. And I think it's important. Yeah. Add your own flair. Think outside the box. Take a risk. Be like, because my risk kind of now is just like, yeah, fuck that posting every day shit, man. Even if 100 billion gurus come and tell me that shit, I'm like, no, because it don't sit right with me. It's literally just me doing busy work like we all did in high school and we all hated. I'd rather be putting my time into making a music video. If that means I got to sacrifice a day where I post, because posting takes a little bit of time. It's like, yeah, so just do your own little self, and that will then become part of the book later on down the line, right? No one ever thought you could rap. And then one day someone's like, fuck singing on a song. I'm just going to talk. I'm going to talk with rhythm. And someone was like, that'll never work. And obviously here it is now. So there's always, you know, mold breakers and things like that. So adding that little own of your own flair will make you realize I think it's not as serious, and like, you don't even be so micro focused on like all these little details of what is going to help you make it.
Right. Yeah, and I feel you with that social media posting, because we've got like multiple channels. You end up with your personal channel, maybe a business channel across all these platforms, and new platforms come out, and it becomes overwhelming. And I was in the same boat, to the point where now just recently you either do it yourself or you find other options. And for me is, or you don't do it. But for me, it's investing some money in a virtual assistant, a social media person to handle the posting, because it's like, ultimately, I don't want to look back on my life and be like, oh, what I really remembered was spending 3 hours a day crafting the perfect Instagram post. Like, that's shit I'm not going to give a fuck about. So, and I'm going to want all those hours back. Like, how many times I'm posting like this perfect Instagram post, or making this reel, and then something happens where it doesn't load and I got to start the whole thing over. And in my head, I'm like, the last 30 minutes of my life is gone. It's like, I hope I don't remember this on my deathbed, because I'm going to really mad. I would have an extra half an hour right now, if not for that Instagram post failing, or losing my internet connection or whatever. So it's that balance of DIY. I mean, we're in an age where it's amazing, because with a cell phone, everyone can be their own media company, and there's not the gatekeepers holding musicians or holding artists back. But at the same time, now you're the artist, you're the videographer, you're the editor, you're the colorist, you're the PR person, you're the accountant, you're the everyone. And that ends up being a lot of time too. So it's finding that happy medium and the balance. And for me right now, one of the things is outsourcing social media posting. So we'll do the creation and do our video creation, podcasting, and do our shows, and then just pass off that to someone else to snip it up and edit it, and then posting, and we'll reap the rewards, but I won't have to be in the trenches, so to speak, every day with that posting. I'm pumped about that. I'm so excited to not have to post, because then you feel guilty. Oh, I'm not doing it. Like, I need to be posting more, but I don't want to be posting more, because I want my life as well. What's like, what can I automate? What can I outsource? What can I not do? There's something to say about just not doing it too. Like, there's a lot of things in our life that we just need to say no to and just dump and be like, that's not something I need to worry about, you know? So
because you can't do everything, like you alluded to. So I think that's even what I'm getting at with the whole post every day thing. I realized with everything I'm trying to do, mixing down songs, I'm in the middle of this campaign where I'm releasing a bunch of old music, film editing, getting ready for tour. Like, oh yeah, one thing can take a back seat. But like you said, optimally, you love to have everything pumping on all cylinders, and that's what you
Right.
said. You got to slow down, realize where you're at, use what you got until you can pay for what you want. And like you said, yeah, I think
Right.
I would be on that at some point or another too, hiring
Yeah.
out someone who can do social media, maybe get a little more creative with the post, so that's not a burden on me. And yeah, we
Right.
can focus more time on everything else we want to do.
Yeah, because we all got to focus on our zone of genius, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
what's the thing that makes you the most hourly or daily amount of money? That's you being in the studio, being on stage, writing, maybe some editing if you like to stay
Yep.
in there, and then releasing everything else. Because like social media posting, you can hire that out for a few dollars an hour versus
Yep.
getting paid $5,000 for a show or $1,000 for an appearance or 10,000. Like you get to that point, then you're like, well, why would I ever spend money doing a $15 an hour task?
Exactly.
The math
Exactly.
doesn't work out in that case. So yeah.
Mhm.
All right, you got a question, Brendan?
Before we get into talking about your upcoming tour, Mowgli, how about another clip?
Another clip?
Do I get to say it?
Do you want to say it, Lars?
Roll the clip.
Mailbox 1. You have 3 new messages. Yo, Mo, it's Santo. Listen, I just got off the phone with the label. He'll be back when you get this message. Yes, who is your favorite cousin? I hate your ass. End of message.
Yeah, it's your boy. Yeah. Maybe I should phone her. Maybe I should phone her. Maybe I should phone her. Or should I just leave her alone? Maybe I should phone her. Maybe I should phone her. Or maybe she just wants her space. Maybe I should phone her, but I don't wanna be up in her face. What if I show her the real me? Will she accept me for who I am? And if I show you the real me, baby girl, will you please just take my hand? I will learn how to take things slow.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Amani. This is Mowgli. We met at the Dresden tonight. I was just calling to say that I had a great time. I hope you did too. And yeah, you should call me tomorrow or in 2 days, 3, whatever. Don't really matter to me. It's cool. Yeah, so my number is 213-555-4679.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Amani, this is Mowgli again. I'm just calling back because it sounded like your message machine might have cut me off when I was, well, before I left or finished leaving my number. And oh, shoot, anyways, I'm so sorry for calling this late, but I knew you were at the Dresden when I left, so I knew I'd get your machine. Yeah, anyhow, my number is 213.
Please leave a message after the tone.
213-555-4679. Just want to leave my number. That's it. I don't want you thinking I'm like weird or desperate or anything. But yeah, we should hang out, see where it goes, cause it's nice, and no expectations. Um, okay. This is Mowgli. I'll talk to you.
I've been waiting for you to call back. 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 I said I love it, man. Call back, girl. You gotta know that you all that for real. Met the girl of my dreams, strolling down the street. Took her back to my pad, and then we rolled some weed. Open house, smoked her out, and then she stayed a while. Wanted to fuck her, instead got a number. It was made to dial. Was thinking about her all night from the time she left. She a dime, so find my time, I might as well invest. We had great banter, there was so much candor. Called her up the next day, but she failed to answer.
And so that is the first 5 minutes of Can't Get a Hold of You.
Little swingers homage there.
Little swingers,
Dresden.
man.
Funny thing is,
Dresden.
Brandon was just working on a scene for an acting class that when I read it, I immediately was like, "Oh, this is Swingers." It wasn't that scene; it was another scene, but with Mike, John Favreau's character. And it was like, "Oh yeah, this is." And then I showed him. I was like, "You got to Google the Swingers phone call scene." And so we literally watched that scene yesterday here in the studio.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Really fun. I got a question. Where the hell did you find one of those old school answering machines? Those are like so obsolete.
Yeah, just OfferUp. It's a little app, for people that are just selling, home goods, appliances, or whatnot. So yeah, I did a little shopping on there. Found the answering machine and the Coors Light phone, man.
Nice. That person thought they would never sell that answering machine. Probably like the wife said to the husband, "Are you crazy? Who's going to buy one of these old things? Nobody uses it anymore."
Exactly right.
He came along. Yeah.
Has Disney been after you for the Tinkerbell poster?
They haven't. No, neither that nor the name Mowgli. So we're evading some lawsuits right now. So far, so good.
Love it. And did you shoot that one yourself, or did you shoot that one with?
Yeah, that one was all me. Just good old tripod and my acting skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the simplicity of the shots, because it's far away, it's close up. Because did you do a lot of that in post, or did you do multiple angles?
No, I did multiple angles, because that was the biggest trouble with starting to get off like filming by yourself, is just like tripod. You just, because that it's just you, and you feel like it's a lazy approach. But then after just watching so many movies in my life, I'm like, oh man, this tripod's out the yin yangs. As long as you have a good subject on screen, and nobody even thinks about that. So yeah, just multiple angles, and just the good old tripod.
Love it. That whole music film is 12 minutes long. It's on YouTube. We'll link it up when we post this. And it is fantastic. I'm near the end of this, right?
Yes. Make sure you guys stay till the end, because his performance is unforgettable.
Nice.
And so what we want to transition to here is talking about the upcoming tour in September. So how did you go about setting up this music tour, Mowgli?
Well, it was actually kind of like a happenstance kind of thing. So everybody knows Mac Miller. Shout out Mac Miller, rest in peace. He's a Pittsburgh artist. I'm originally from outside of Philadelphia. And what happened was about 10 years ago, I was watching one of his music videos, and he always used to shoot with this guy named Rex Arrow Films, who's out of Pittsburgh. And it was on YouTube, right? And the video finished. So then it obviously automated another video to play afterwards. And it was another Rex Arrow film, but it was another group. And it was this group called Moosh and Twist, black kid and a white kid from Philly doing the rap duo thing. Totally dope. I fell in love with their music the second I saw that music video. It's called Take Me Back. And the point being, how this ties into the tour, is that I followed Moosh and Twist after that. They broke up about 2 or 3 years ago, I want to say, and they've been doing their solo thing. But I've just been like reaching out to them through DMs. I actually ran into Twist, the white kid, in Venice about 3 years ago in LA, and we had a good talk. And then that kind of just promoted me to be like, oh, let me just be more friendly with Moosh, because at this point I'm thinking certain people aren't even attainable, right? Like, why even reach out to people, right? But just responding, things he had posted on, Instagram, or a clap emoji to a story post or something, and we just kind of had a little cordial back and forth, which was cool. I was like, yo, he even acknowledges me. And then about, I want to say about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I hit him up and was like, yo, I'd like to do a consult with you. I want to see how you do things business wise, and just take a call for, a half hour to an hour. So he agreed to do that. It was an awesome talk. We really got to know each other better. And then, it was quiet until about 3 months ago. And then he just randomly hit me up, Moosh, the black kid. Like I said, that.
He froze.
Oh. Well,
wait.
we will have him back in as soon.
We'll
there we go.
second.
Sorry.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. But
we lost you at Moosh. You just mentioned
Moosh.
out of the blue.
Yeah. So just out of the blue, he just hit me up with a direct message on Instagram, and he was like, "Are you trying to go on tour?" He's like, "I'm looking for opening acts for a nationwide tour." And I was just like, without a doubt, I was like, "Hell yeah, just give me the details." And I'm super grateful for him, because this is going to be his first headlining tour across the nation. When he was in the group Moosh and Twist, they did a bunch of tours as well back in the day, but this is his first headlining tour. So I'm honored that I'm going to be the opening act for all 20 cities. And I'm super excited to get this thing going.
That's huge. Congrats, man. That's amazing. And what a great
Appreciate
way to get a national tour where there's a certain level of pressure when you are the headliner of everything having to go perfect. When you're the opener, some of that pressure is not quite there. Different pressures as the opener, but access to that audience and access to all the social media and the press and everything like that. That's huge. Congrats.
And just great learning experience too, as well. As I'm excited to just learn from him and see how he does things. And that's why I talk about like the whole how to, because I couldn't even all I could tell people about how this came to be was just like, it wasn't because I posted every day. It wasn't because I had $1 million camera. It wasn't because I had the $1 million microphone. It was just I was working hard, and I was just talking to everyone I could. And dude saw something in me, and obviously that means a lot, because we all know that we only reach out to work with people that we respect and we want to work with. So I don't even know how the hell this thing happened, to be truthful. Just a lot of hard work, right?
That's great.
Yeah, I love the saying, you're welcome in rooms that you're already in, because you're reaching out, you're talking to people, you're making those connections, and similar to what you said about it's all about who you know. Like you do have to make those connections, and like those people will help you get to where you're trying to get to, and like each person has their own different experiences that you can learn from and cultivate from. Are there going to be any rehearsals for this? Like, are you going to be able to get to know, like, is it going to just be starting the tour and then you're going off, or are you guys meeting first and then like coordinating something and then going on the tour?
No, basically it's just, he told me I got about a 25-30 minute set. So, I'll get all my mix downs, for the live performances ready. We'll meet up in Cleveland, I believe on either the 14th or 15th of September, because the first show is on the 15th. And I'm sure we'll take a couple hours, work with the sound guy, whatever. But as far as this hip hop shit is concerned, it's pretty straightforward. I give you a track, I perform, and unless there's something else that I don't know that's coming up, that he has in mind. Yes. Pretty straightforward. I just show up with my music and we get to performing.
Yeah,
nice.
You're going to be coordinating the fire show that's going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. If there's more extracurricular stuff like that, then I need at least a week to get ready for that, right?
Yeah,
choreography and all that shit.
Where should people go to check out the tour dates or the cities? Is that following you on social, or is there a website for that?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at Mowgli_son SON. And because I haven't officially announced it yet, so we're probably gonna announce it here in like next few days, because Mooshi's actually getting married, so congrats to him. Once he gets out of the way, we're gonna officially announce it, and y'all have a post and everything with all the dates locked in and everything for everybody.
Amazing.
Cool. No Canada date in there. You're not crossing the border.
There is.
Oh yeah.
There is a Toronto show.
All right. When's that?
I'm just waiting patiently on my passport to come in. Let me just I want to say it's the 5th of October. Let me just double check here.
Well, make some room in the VIP booth for us.
Oh, always.
We'll join you.
Oh, Toronto is actually the 25th of September at the Mod Club. If anyone's ever been there.
Nice. Yeah, that's a cool venue. Yeah.
So yeah, hell yeah, come out, hook you guys up as much as I can for sure.
Beauty. Great.
Okay, so because we've reached the hour, we just like to finish things off with what advice would you offer to another artist that's starting out, or maybe like yourself that was starting out like back in 2008 when you were 20 years old? Like, what advice would you give to your past artist self?
Yeah, I would just say, just do it. Like we kind of talked about this whole episode, just do it with whatever you got, whatever you means, with whatever means you have. Don't be afraid to fail. If you can get into a philosophy of realizing that failure is not even really a thing, it's just a result of a product that you put out and people's opinions on it. And the only opinion that really matters at the end of the day is yours. Did you like it? Did you not? And don't be afraid to learn, because I would say that was probably a crutch of mine in the beginning. I was very afraid to learn. And like I said, I don't know if I will never come up here and say I know how exactly, but I'll give my story and things I learned from. But I realized, learning, knowledge is power. The more you know, is just the better. So yeah, I even still just challenge myself every day to say, what more can I learn? Who else can I listen to, even if I don't agree with it or something I've heard a million times before? Just take the time to learn. We've only got so many hours in the day, so don't get overwhelmed with it and think you got to learn it all in 24 hours. Just tidbit by tidbit every day, and just trust your gut. Like I said, if you don't want to do something, don't do it. Value your life more than your career. I would say that. Too many people burn themselves out because they take this shit way too seriously. I always loved LeBron James when he was like in the finals all those years, and he was just talking about like, I'm good with whatever happens because I'm going home to my wife and kids and I'm living my life. Like, basketball's something I do. It's not who I am. So I would say that in the artist respect, music's what I do. It's not who I am. If you're in film or whatever, it's what you do. It's not who you are. Of course, take it as seriously and push it to the limits, but live your life first and foremost. Have fun. If you're getting pulled down by the weight and expectation you have in your own mind, that's unhealthy. This shit should be fun. Don't ever get it to a point where it's not fun. And if it is, just take a break. You'll be back in a week or two. It's all good.
Love that.
You're speaking our language, Mowgli. We talk about that all the time with auditions here at the studio, where it's like, it's supposed to be fun. It's like the most creative, childlike kid on a playground, kid in a sandbox playing make-believe. And then we become adults and we decide it's got to be business and for money. And we put all this stress, and then all of a sudden we're walking around ruining something that's supposed to be the most playful, fun, enjoyable, joyful experience ever. And we ruin it because our stupid brains trick us into doing so. So I love what you said.
Paralysis by analysis, right? You're not even doing anything because you're worried too much about the result. Just cliche is the best, right? Enjoy the journey every single day, even if that day is just like, fuck it, I don't feel like doing any work today. I want to go hang out with the family and eat some ice cream. Go do that, because that actually will play into your work.
Totally. Yeah, and I love what you said about failure too. It's like I hear that all the time, and do my best to follow that. Is it's not win or lose, it's win or learn. You're not failing, you're getting some feedback and you're learning and being like, okay, maybe this didn't quite work. How can I tweak it? How can I do it better next time? Not like, oh my God, I didn't get the result, or I just did an open mic, my first comedy open mic, and I didn't crush. So now I'm devastated and I don't perform for another 6 months because I'm afraid to hit the stage again. Like, no, take some lessons and get back at it.
Yep. Just realize how blessed you are to even be doing it in the first place.
The fact that we all woke up and we're connecting via technology, satellites right now. It's like, it's all fucking mind blowing.
It's all a gift when you can really just take your mind off of all the BS. It's just a gift. Just go out there and have fun with it.
Right. And it can all go away tomorrow for any one of us. So we got to realize that if we're not enjoying it today, then what the fuck?
Exactly. What's it all for?
Yeah. Great. This has been great, man. I appreciate you meeting you. I'm really glad that that you connected with Brandon and that we were able to get on the show. I'll connect with you personally on social so that I can follow along with you too. And this will be linked up. So to all our viewers and listeners, make sure that you're subscribing on your favorite podcast platform. I should just shout out to Comedy Alley as well. We've got comedy shows here at our venue every Friday, Saturday at 8 p.m. I'm going to just rattle off the performers here this weekend. So on Friday, I'm not going to be here this Friday hosting, so we'll have a guest host. Anto Chan as our guest host in Comedy Alley Friday, August 26th. We've also got Cliff Knight, Habib Siam, and John Mostyn, some Comedy Alley regulars. They're all fantastic. It's going to be a great show. And then on Saturday, the 27th, we have Braden Lynch as the guest host. And you can see Eric Andrews, Ernie Vicente, and a special guest to be named later. So you can go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley to grab tickets for those. We sell out real quick. We only got 20 seats per show. So make sure if you want to check us out this weekend, go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley. And as always, for the actors, if you missed our Audition Hero workshop, you can discover the ways that one actor went from stressful DIY self-tapes to booking a Hollywood blockbuster role, plus 2 series leads in less than 12 months. You can grab the replays to that workshop. It's a free workshop. Go to laughingvikings.com/audition hero. And like Mowgli was saying, it's like we're not the be all and end all. We're not going to say this is for sure. You do this and this is going to guarantee you success. But this is what has worked for us. This is things that have worked for actors that we work with here who have been very successful. So you take some pearls of wisdom from that workshop and hopefully it works out for you. But this has been a great episode, man. I really appreciate you. Thanks, Brandon, for hooking this up. And we'll share the links and everything for you too. So you'll have access to all this when we release it, and we'll link it up, all your socials into the podcast description too.
Perfect. Yeah, I appreciate you guys 100%. This was such a fun experience. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
We'll see you at the Mod Club in October.
Yeah, I can't wait, guys. It's going to be awesome.
September. Oh, yeah. I thought he said October 1st. Well, whenever it is, we'll link it up.
September 25th. We'll get there somewhere.
We'll get there. We'll figure it out. We'll coordinate. We'll talk about it. We'll make a group chat. It'll be lovely.
We got a WhatsApp going. Yeah, it's all good.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this week. Have a fantastic week. We love you. All the best. Goodbye.